Samantha Inoue-Harte at PortConMaine. She's a voice actress, founded animation studio Psycho Studios.
Yes.
One question for you. What was the first convention you attended as a guest?
It was a small convention called AnimeCons, and it was, I think it was during Thanksgiving weekend, so there was, thankfully Mike McFarland from Funimation was there to protect me and show me the ropes of how to survive a convention, but yeah, it was I think it was a small branch of ACON. It was in the middle of nowhere.
Did you ever attend conventions before that as a regular attendee?
I attended ACON, I attended Gen Con, I went to Comic-Con, I also went to Comic-Con in Japan, but that was when I was younger. I actually lived in Japan for a long time, so there were always some sort of conventions going on in Japan, so I used to go to those.
How did it feel to be asked to be a guest at your first convention you went to as a guest?
I was actually kind of shocked, because when I got asked, like, it was over the phone, and I was like, really? You guys want me? No, seriously, really? and even now, like, just even for this convention, when I got asked through Facebook, I was like, really? You want me to come out? Sure.
What type of questions do you like to be asked by the attendees?
I get asked a lot, like, how do you get into voice acting? And I always get asked, like, what's your favorite role? I actually really like to have questions that have a little bit more thought placed into them. Something more along the lines of, like, what do you think of the current, issues within anime? And it's like, what do you, it's like, oh gosh. Just more thoughtful questions, really. Things that take a little while to answer, rather than just a yes or no. Not like, what's your favorite pudding flavor? Which, for some odd reason, I get to ask that a lot. And it's butterscotch, by the way.
You've also done work outside of AnimeCons, some live action shows. Can you talk about the difference between doing just voice acting and live action?
Oh, yeah. Well, actually, I do a lot more, like, stunt-related stuff, and, like, I'm the person that, it's like, say, for instance, in Idiocracy, they were like, hey, we need somebody to cut some food up with their feet, and, who better to ask than me, because I'm willing to do just about anything. Well, not anything on camera, but, I'll put on a weird cat suit or something like that, or I'll get dragged by a horse. But the main difference between live action acting and acting in anime is the amount of movement of your body. In voice acting, you can use your entire body to act out a scene. Because the more that you move, the more your voice will reflect that movement. Whereas for live action acting, you just, you literally hold your body very still, and you don't move your head, you don't move your eyes around. You're very, like, live action acting is more like acting without a lot of facial. It's all about subtlety. Very different.
What projects are you working on now?
Oh, snap. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about that. Right now, I live in Austin, and it's not a secret that there's a lot of Robert Rodriguez movies that are being shot, and I have a very good idea that I'm probably going to be in a lot of those movies this summer. But the only problem is that I might be in those movies, but they're not going to come out in theater for like a year and a half later. So, there's those. You can probably just Google what I'm talking about because technically I'm not supposed to say, but if you guys guess, you guys can figure it out. But I did get a phone call saying that because I was in Sin City 1, I should be in Sin City 2. I don't know if I have been speaking well, but I'm really excited because during Sin City 1, I was a lot rounder and I had to wear a very tight corset. And yeah, I look like a sausage with a bit. And frankly, now that I'm starting to lose a lot more weight, I should be looking a little bit better on the screen.
Do you have any funny stories about attending conventions?
I have millions of those. Well, I've been doing conventions for so long, and there's always something funny that happens at every convention. I'd say that the most recent one is I never knew about a website called 4chan until fairly recently, and I started getting all these text messages from all these fans like, "Oh my God, you're on the 4chans! Check it out!" And I was like, "What the heck are you guys talking about?" And so I went onto the 4chans, which was very scary. I had to have somebody like walk me through it because I was freaking out, going like, "What is this bee thing?" and so they took me into this forum, and it was about a previous convention. Like some guy was hitting on me, and so all this like flaming was going on, and all these people were saying nice things about me, and they were like, "4chan loves you." It's like, what? You know, it's like, and that was like about when I found out that the 4chans was like the internet machine or something like that, and so I was like, what? 4chan likes me? That's nice, I think. Kind of. And so it's weird because over at AnimeCon, after one of my autographing sessions, I was sitting there and I was like packing up, and this guy and this group of other guys came up to me and they were like, "We are from 4chan," and they gave me a rose, and they were like, "On behalf of 4chan, this is a rose to you. We love you." And I was like, oh my gosh! So I'm probably gonna get flamed now because of this, but yeah, I've only been on there a couple of times because there's so many things that are kind of like, yeah, but on there, but I think I'm starting to learn.
What's the furthest you've traveled to a convention, either as a guest or attendee?
I went to a convention up in Buffalo, New York, and also in Canada. I'd say that this convention is pretty far for me too. I don't really get to go up north very often. I would like to, but yeah, I'd say the northern conventions tend to be the furthest ones for me because I'm in the middle of Texas.
Is there a convention you would like to go to but haven't yet?
I would like to eventually go to all of them, really. I mean, yeah, I can take the cop out and be like, I'd like to go to Comic-Con. Well, I mean, I've been to Comic-Con, but not as a guest. But I would probably end up just going just as a fan, no matter what. So if I get enough money, I'll probably go con hopping.
What's your favorite thing about attending anime conventions?
I like getting the feedback on the work that I've done. That's probably the best thing, because when you're doing voice acting or you're doing regular acting, live action acting, you're normally only catering to the director and the engineer, and so you're in a little box about the size of a telephone booth, and you're acting out the part. And then until it comes out on TV, you don't hear anything positive or negative except for what the director says. And so when I go to a convention and somebody says, "Oh my God, I loved you as this character from this role, and you did 4 years ago," that really makes me kind of go like, "I did a good job. Oh my God!" Because up until then, I do. But that and I like the hugs. I don't like the glomps so much, especially if the person is over like 5'7", because I'm pretty short and I can't handle carrying people too much. But if I get a hug from a fan, that's something that I really like.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.